Hello everybody and welcome to another round of roster reviews. It's been a little while, so I felt like I should get back to some, and I got plenty of people waiting, so I need to have a lot of ground to cover. Starting off with more of a roast, unfortunately. I'm reviewing JonesStone, and he is in the Geek Republic, currently in Carbonite 3, and he has 1.698 million galactic power, and there's nothing wrong with that, but he apparently he's been playing since January 2018. So it's almost 5 years of playing, but not too much to show for it. Doesn't have a whole lot of direction, it seems like. As far as I can tell, they love bounty hunters. That's about the only thing built up. We got Geobrute Alpha, we got the Geonosians here. But the only faction with any buildup of significance is bounty hunters. And I'm not sure why you got Mob Enforcer at Relic 4. I mean, I guess you're probably going for Java since you love bounty hunters. And I see Bush's up here and got the Raid Omicron and everything. But it still looks pretty far away, judging by what you have. I mean, Java is fine, but you're going to need Jedi Knight Luke too, and it's going to take a ton of time. My recommendation is just stop whatever you're doing, go for Executor, because you already have 1, 2, 3 of the requirements ready, or you got Boba Fett almost ready. I think he needs to be Relic 8. Should put Relegate on him instead of IG-88. You need Bosk up. You need a few things. Let's just see where your Piet's at. Okay, yeah, so definitely you were not targeting the Executor, but you really should just farm Piet, get him to 7 stars, farm the rest of the requirements, build him up, because if you've already put this much into bounty hunters, that's the closest thing you are to getting, and it's not too far off. I mean, you could get some other journey guide stuff. I would recommend just going to my free-to-play farming guide and looking at that and starting a path, like the beginning path. Make sure you get all that, because there's a lot withstanding here. Doesn't look like there's a CLS, Jedi Knight Revan. Do you have Palpatine? Okay, you got Palpatine. No Thrawn, it doesn't look like. Build up Mara Jade for this Empire team. It can work even at low gear. And that'll get you going a lot better. Let me look at your Jedi. Jedi needs to work on some Jedi. You can start with Bastila as a leader. And then once you get... You can probably... Okay, you have Yoda. Build up Yoda. Build up Mace. Build up GK. There's just, I mean, there's so much stuff to do. I think you should probably just look at my guide and start from scratch. As far as ships, not too much going on here. Like I said, I recommend going for the Executor. Eventually try to get in a better guild and get Malevolence too. Right now, I guess you're using Executrix and... Was it Executrix and, yeah, Geos, which is fine. I mean, it's like a beginner fleet, but it's a start. But yeah, farm Houndstooth too. I mean, it's a node with Jango Fett, so he's a bounty hunter, so you should be on board to do that. But you just got so much stuff to do, it's hard to know where to start. I mean, just either get Executor or start from scratch with that other stuff. I'm going to check your mods real quick. I have a feeling they're not super great. Well, this one's actually okay. I mean, crit damage, yeah, that's what he wants, and you got decent speed on it. Not a ton of offense. Let's see. Crit damage, that's what you want. You want offense on that cross, just because Boba Fett, if he's trying to do as much damage as possible with that. Should probably have speed and protection. Yeah, these mods need some work. I can tell you're a big Boba Fett fan. But you need better speed mods on him, like 11. I mean, 11 is pretty good for a green mod. Keep slicing that one up. That has potential. But you want to get to, like, the orange or the gold mods, where they have better speed and everything. He's a Boosh. He's naturally kind of fast. Yeah, definitely just need some work on the mods. It's clear, because you don't have much speed to go around at all. Yeah, there's just a lot of work here, so thanks for letting me look over your roster, but unfortunately my verdict is you pretty much haven't made much progress, and you're going to need to find a better starting point to continue from. Next up, we're switching gears. We got a pretty focused account that seems to have had a good amount of success This is Sgttrumbo. He's in Falconer's Revenge 2 and in Chromium 1, and he has almost just about 4.7 million GP. And he claims that he started in December 2021 and is just a hyperdrive only account, otherwise no spending. I mean, I don't know. This is a lot of progress to make since then. I'm not sure if I buy it completely. Let me move myself a little bit. I'm not sure if I buy it fully, but if it is completely true, then hats off to you. This is a lot of progress to make. They got Supreme Leader Kylo, a Sith Eternal Emperor, and also just unlocked Star Killer, it looks like, because he's lower gear. And slapped some Omicrons on him already. So, yeah, I mean, that's some great progress. Working on Star Killer, I'm guessing, is your current focus. It should be really building him up. I'm going to look at mods a little bit later, but my recommendation now, since you have two Galactic Legends, Sith Eternal's not the best, but he is really going to help out. And you said you're GAC focused, or he said he's GAC focused. So I would recommend the next thing to do is work on some key characters in some of these important factions to work on. So let's just go through the list. Let's look at Bounty Hunter first. So it's got some Bounty Hunters built up. I'd build up Grief and Mando to like gear 10. I mean, Mando just a little bit more. Maybe think about getting his Zeta at some point eventually. But this team is very good. I don't know. You're probably making it work, honestly, in Chromium 1. But like you could develop it a little bit more. And then think about going for Executor as your next big unlock, as instead of like another GL or something. Which would be, I mean, other characters. But the Bounty Hunter faction, definitely. But for what you have, I think that's probably fine. That's probably not the next immediate focus. For Empire, it's looking great. You got your core Empire team like with Vader and stuff, but you're going to lose Mara Jade and Palpatine to Starkiller probably. And then I'm not sure what you're going to do with Vader. In Chromium, you could probably make a lot of stuff work with just him as lead. And you got the Leadership Zeta, so that's good. Your Imperial Troopers are, super close to being just the well-oiled machine. I would just relic Dark Trooper as one of your next priorities, like within the next 5 characters you relic up. Do Dark Trooper. Give Moff Gideon a little bit of gear, so you can throw him in that group. Range Trooper, I mean, that's a farm eventually. I don't know if it's immediate priority. But definitely work on those. Let me just check your Geos. Your Geos are fine. For now, probably don't need to focus on them anytime soon. Okay, Jedi. So looks like you just have requirements Jedi at Relic, which is Cal Katarn and Jedi Anakin. I mean, I guess you could probably just use Cal Katarn in your Giant Revan team, and that might be what you're doing already. But your Qui-Gon team, you got Anakin built up, so that can work a little bit, kind of all right. And I don't know what your guild is doing with Cam. That'll be a great unlock next. But Qui-Gon and Anakin, I'm sure you're making great use of. As far as the Jedi Revan team, I would recommend getting Yoda to Relics. It's going to make that team work a lot better. Even though Cal Katarn does have some damage, Yoda just helps a lot with churning out the turn meter. And you could even go tankless. You could go Revan, Bastila, Jolie, Yoda, and Kyle, since you already have them up, but don't seem to have a Rebel fighter team ready. That would be pretty nice. That's going to get a lot of stuff done, but definitely Yoda as one of your next priorities for relics. Moving on, Rebel. So you have the key unlocks already to make a great team. You got Luke, Han, and Chewie fully unlocked. You got 3PO and Chewie at 7 stars. I'd work on getting these guys up to like gear 12, all of them. Especially Chewie, 3PO, and Chewie. Or do you have just normal C-3PO? Okay, you do. Don't need him a lot, super high. I mean, gear 7 might be a little bit flimsy. Maybe just gear 8 or gear 9 for the meantime if you're sparing gear, just so he doesn't die from getting... And give him a little bit of mods. I mean, he's got level 1 mods. He's going to die from like 1 AoE, so... give him a little bit just to get him extra protection, then mod him for protection primaries and get some speed on him. And also some potency, I'm sure would help. So that's Rebel. And let me just double check here. Yeah, don't have Rebel Fighters going, which is fine. Separatists. Doesn't seem like a focus. Probably build up Grievous because you do have Malevolence. Then Sith. It's mostly looks pretty good. Sith Empire definitely looks good. I haven't seen your HK-47, but you got Revan. This is a great extra team that you started getting in Relics, so I definitely approve of Revan and Bastila at Relics, and Sith Marauder fits in nicely. However, since you do have Talon, I mean, I guess you could be using him with Darth Revan, her with Darth Revan, of course. But Darth Traya, Darth Nihilus, and Scion are great, just the three of them in GAC. So if you build them up to give him a few gear levels, focus on Scion to make the most survivable, like give him the most gear and or relics, and then you can do a lot of stuff with just the three of them on offense. So I think that's it for the factions I wanted to look at. Let me look at your ships, and you're in decent shape. You're in pretty good shape. You're running, he's running Negotiator. I keep switching back from addressing him and just generally talking about the account. So he's got Negotiator, which is pretty good. Seems to be running well for him. Like I said, your next big unlock instead of a Galactic Legend should probably be Executor, and that's really going to help you out. Make your life easier in Fleet, and also make GAC a lot smoother for you. But it's looking pretty good. I mean, I don't have a lot of criticisms for the Fleet. Let me just look at Galactic Republic. I mean, you could build up fives a little bit, and that's a key character for the Shock T team as well. But looks like you're getting pretty high in arena, so I'm sure you are okay there for the most part. And now I just want to take a quick look at the mods. Sort by speed. So Supreme Leader Kylo first, obviously is going to be fastest. Looks like you're running a speed set with him. If you're running a speed set on Kylo, I would look for a little bit more speed than that. Otherwise, you want to run an offense set. I mean, I'm sure at your level it's working plenty fine for you, or just well enough. And Sith Eternal Emperor. Looks like pure health. Okay, you got a pure health mod built on him. Although, even though you do want health as a focus, you do not want to neglect speed fully. So this is a turtle Sith Eternal Emperor. 23 extra speed is not acceptable. You should move these mods to a tank that needs to be slow and only needs health, and then work on getting some health mods that have actual speed secondaries on them. So I know some people recommend just health as your focus, not anything else, but that doesn't mean you want 23 speed on them. Yeah, this needs a lot of work. It's not too hard to find better mods than that, like just with any speed at all. Marjay being your other fastest is fine. I mean, she's not super fast yet. Like, having a young count comes with not having a deep mod pool, but she is a good priority for having speed on. But I can tell already your speed mod pool is pretty shallow. Darth Revan's another good focus for it, but 121 isn't like the Flash. Dash Runner, Kyle Katarn. I don't know, Kyle Katarn might not need this much speed based on what you have. You might want to change that to Giant Revan, unless he has more speed on him. Yeah, so give Giant Revan the speed, give him the 6-dot mods. Yeah, I don't want to go too much further, but it looks like you have some good mod priorities, but work on Sith Eternal Emperor, that's first and foremost with the modding. Switch Kyle Katarn to Giant Revan, and then work on those other characters I recommended to you. But thanks for letting me look at your account. You're doing pretty well overall, especially if you started in December 2021. That's very impressive. Alright, so the first one I did was a roster roast. The second one was kind of a praise, but this is really going to be just a praise session for this player. We got Diafilm here. He is 7.5 million. It says he started in December 2019 and only buys the Small Conquest Pass, which is a pretty good use of money. If you are going to spend, you get a lot out of it. He's in Kyber 2, which is, you know, as much as you can really expect from a 7.5 million. Like, you don't with how few people are in Kyber 1 now, you don't really see this in Kyber 1, so doing very well. Grand Arena, has Profundity. I'm going to look at ships first just because it's faster. He has Profundity and Executor at 7 stars already, and Relic not up yet. So ships are going fantastic. No Iden, so that's maybe something that would be an easy improvement to make once you're on Galactic Legend chasing. But yeah, both meta ships, 7.4 million, amazing, just doing super well in fleet. I don't really have anything to criticize there, except, you know, you need Iden. He has 5 Galactic Legends, missing Rey and Jabba, but I think it seems like they're going for Jabba next based on the Hot Cartel, because these guys are getting built up, even the crap. Bounty Hunters, Morning Guard, and Shard farming looks close on these. So that's exactly what I would be recommending anyway, is to go for Jabba next. I love Rey, but Jabba, there's a lot extra you get out of him. You get that mod event. You get all these missions in the new Rise of the Empire TB. And yeah, he's got a great roster. Got Maul. Except he should have Commander Tana, right? Yeah, down here. Doesn't really care about building her up past 5, but that's fine. I mean, you can make that work for most things. I mean, everything up here, I'm not seeing any kind of mistake here up here that I would like regret and say, why'd you do that? So yeah, looking very good. Got the Wampa, Omicron, awesome. And by the way, they said they're GAC and Territorial War focused. So you did get the Jin Omi. Asajj Omi, I haven't used it. I don't like the Night Sisters, really. I don't find them as useful. Yeah, I got Savage Omi. He's got plenty of stuff. So let me just look at the bottom of the roster to see what's clearly missing. I already pointed out Iden. And, you know, the droids... what's her face? Dr. Aphra. Yeah, she's not the immediate priority. I'm sure you'll get to her later. I'd probably go for Rey even before going for her, just to have all the Galactic Legends after Jabba. Iden is a clear pick to work on. Looks like Sith Trio has been entirely neglected. So definitely there's something to work on. They're not required for anything, but still a great team in and of themselves. Even if you just get those 3 up, you can put in a couple random other stuff. For me, I'm using Savage with them on defense, and it's very useful. Usually draws a Galactic Legend. Excuse me for that. No Sortie. You know, that's a great character, but I can understand why you aren't going for her yet. I don't know if she's accelerated yet, actually. But once she's accelerated, definitely farm her. At least slow farm her. No resistance. Yeah, Inquisitors are low. I'm actually fine with that. I know people say work on the Inquisitors to get in a good RTE guild. But, you know, selfishly, they're not that great. I've been pretty disappointed with them, even at R7. With decent modding and the right datacron, I've been kind of disappointed with what I actually get out of them. Yeah, okay, Queel. I mean, I can understand not building up IG-11 Queel. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty great roster, pretty great priorities. I definitely highly approve of everything you've been working on. Let's check Lord Vader. That's a nice Lord Vader. Lots of protection, super high speed in the meantime, so yeah, there's protection, some good speed on it. Very good. Spoonwheeler Kylo going for the speed set, which is pretty good, and great offense out of it too. So we've got offense there, these are probably some good primaries over here. That's decent. I don't know if you've recalibrated that. That's really good. But yeah, no, pretty good offense. I mean, it's not like through the roof, but it is very good. Janet Luke. Oh, I don't know about the offense set. I'm not sure. But I mean, if you have some reason for it, I'd be interested to hear. Well, I mean, definitely got the protection that you want. So clearly protection primaries. Just, I don't know why offense. I always think speed is better for him, but that's interesting. Maybe that could go on gas. General Skywalker. Oh, wait, do you have... Okay, you do. How is... Oh, no, I have it sorted by speed. I was like, why is he this far down? Well, you already got your own gas set, but, yeah, I don't know who else a high protection offense set would go on, but... I don't know. I don't know why offense. Sith Eternal Emperor, I get pure health and also speed. So the last person I reviewed, this is more what you're looking for. You do want good secondary speed, even though you're focused on health. So he's very good. And the other fastest characters look like the ones that should be. These are all key characters. Echo, Piet, Commander Tano, Mara Jade, Moff Gideon, Shakti. Dark Trooper. It's very fast for Dark Trooper. I mean, that's interesting. I don't know. I mean, I guess that can help Imperial Troopers work well. It is an offense set. It can help them work well, especially with getting the extra turn meter. Well, he gets extra turn meter at the beginning anyway, so I don't know. I think he probably doesn't need that much speed with the offense set. I might give that to Starkiller, honestly. Well, it's about similar speeds you have on him. So let me find someone lower that I would say should have that much speed over Dark Trooper. And he's gone purely for speed there. I think that's alright. Offense and speed. I mean, maybe that's the best use of it. Maybe Cam. Yeah, I'd probably give that to Ki-Adi-Mundi, actually. Because he can really make that Qui-Gon Jinn team hard to deal with if he's super fast and he outspeeds enemy Echoes. So yeah, I would swap with him. Honestly, yeah, I think that would be probably pretty good. But otherwise, I think the speed priorities are pretty good. You have an amazing account, especially for how long you've been playing. Great priorities. Jabba next, clearly. Your ships are well in order, so I'll probably go Jabba. Then work on some side stuff like the Sith trio, get Iden, give her an Omicron. She's very useful, got that great ship. But otherwise, you were just doing very well. Thanks for letting me look at your account, and keep it up. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to throw in here. Your Datacron setup looks just great. Level 5s, level 8s, definitely the best stopping points on your set 6. Since you don't have anyone that benefits from level 9, this is great. You got a lot at level 8s, level 5s otherwise. I think you have a great focus with Datacron, so keep up that same philosophy. Alright, and the last account I'm looking at today is csabeszon. He is with Hun Knights. Come on, guys, just sit here for a little bit. He's with Hun Knights. He's at 1.96 million GP, starting April 2022. He said he's following the AP Gains farming guide. Alright. The AP Gains farming guide, and it's free to play. Seems like he's made a lot of progress in that almost a year, about 10 months. So a lot of good things to say about this account. The account looks a lot like what I think mine would look like if I was starting over again at this GP. He's already got Malik. That's pretty impressive, and he's already to the point in my recommendation of farming guide where he should go for Starkiller. But he's past where he should have got Bam, so I'd probably recommend Bam next, Beskar Mando, to start working so you can get the Razor Crest and work on Executor next, because I would recommend going for that before any other Galactic Legends. But Sith Empire, I love the faction. You got a great Sith Empire team. Looks like you got a great Jedi Knight Revan team. Padme with Jedi Knight Anakin. A lot of good stuff. I think your Geonosians are right where they need to be. They're all gear 12. And Bounty Hunters. Let me just check Bounty Hunters. Probably can work on Boss just for ships and for just characters. And since you have the Zam Omi, I'm sure that really helps. And you're probably making it work with the Mandalorian. But get Grief Karga and the Mandalorian up a little bit, maybe gear 10 or 11, to help you with Bam. And also make this team a little bit more sure-footed. But I'm sure it works pretty well, especially at your level. That's a great setup you got there. I think your Empire needs a little bit of work. And I mean, Darth Vader is like definitely the first Empire character to relic, maybe the first one at all. But maybe work on the other stuff. Emperor Palpatine, definitely give him his Zeta on his leadership. That's one of the first priorities for just the game in general and just Empire. So you can make that work. And then you should be working on Starkiller next. So try to farm up Mara Jade. It looks like you're a while off, so probably have time to do other stuff before then. Just while you're farming the shards. But since she's accelerated, it shouldn't be too bad. And in the meantime, just get her up a few gear levels, give her some speed, and she can work really well with your Empire. Palpatine and Vader. For Imperial Troopers, looks like you have a somewhat functioning team, like a Gear 8 team. But try to get a lot more gear on Dark Trooper. Give a Zeta to Piet, and then this team is going to work way better and do way more for you, even with minimal investment. Galactic Republic, looks like you have a good setup already. You got Padme, Anakin, Ahsoka. GK needs more gear for sure. So in this faction, that's probably your priority. Don't see a ton of clones built up, but that's another good raid team. Although the raids are changing, so I wouldn't invest in them just for that. Jedi, looks like you're off to a pretty good start. I mean, Yoda is definitely the right choice to have some relics on. Revan's an okay second choice. I don't know if you're using Anakin with Padme or Revan. Probably Padme, and that's probably better. But Jolie definitely should be the next priority as far as the Jedi Knight Revan team to relic up or gear up. And yeah, I guess Kenobi is 6 stars, so you can't take him to gear 12 yet, but he would be next once you're able to. And then for Rebel, you have the whole team going, the whole team's ready, unlocked. Just need some extra gear levels. Probably Han Solo for extra damage, and then Chewbacca for survivability, and then 3PO and Chewie. Your C-3PO is probably good enough until you need him at relics for a requirement or something. But overall, I think your account is in a great spot. I don't have criticisms of what you've done so far. Just recommendations of what to do later. And you already got a functional Sith trio for your level. So you have a great setup. Probably Savage, just start getting his shards in the arena store. And then think about getting the Omicron for him. It is very good, and especially at a lower level, I'm sure you could solo a lot of stuff with it. So that's it for just the faction review. Let me go up here and try to look at some mods. And I don't expect a ton for the amount of time you've been playing. Let's see. Revan has plus 132. You know, that's not bad. That's pretty good. He's definitely a good target for your fastest mod set. So I don't have complaints there. Yoda, you don't want him the fastest, although he is naturally fast. And now that I look at it, if that's your second best speed set, you definitely need to work on your mods a good deal. 88 speed on Revan, not cutting it. Really need to speed up Revan. He should be faster than Yoda. Yoda's just getting a bunch of turn meter all the time from his basic if you're attacking full health or over half health characters, which is most of the time. Malik with speed. I mean, this is a decent Malik set for where you're at. You got a lot of protection focus. You have tenacity, and then you clearly have speed on it. This mod needs to go. Anything's better. It has no speed. So just work on getting speed on these. And honestly, I might take... Because if you're going pure tenacity on him, you want a tenacity primary, and then you don't really worry too much about speed. You're probably going to be soloing stuff with him at your level. So don't need a ton of speed. So I'd probably take this cross and this diamond, make it the minor set for one of your faster characters like Revan or something, and then just try to make them faster and have the other 4 mods be speed sets, your fastest speed sets. But yeah, it looks like overall your mods need some work. Offense and tenacity, not the worst focus for him. You want a little bit more tenacity if you're going for a tenacity set. But just from looking at these few characters, I think you do need a lot more work on the mods. If you're not focusing on them now, just do 3 refreshes at least with those. If your budget can allow it. If it can't, I mean, maybe move some of those crystals over to mods, because that's really going to be important for you. Your ships look fine. Houndstooth, definitely finish it off. That's your first and foremost priority, and build him up. You've gone the route of Negotiator, which is fine. I recommend Malevolence, but Negotiator is amazing as well. It's not like a huge deal breaker to go for Negotiator instead, because head to head it is a little bit better. Just one-on-one. Let's look at your Galactic Republic fleet. So it's decent. You need some work. You know, 5s would be the next priority here, and finishing off the BTL, but the BTL takes forever. So I wouldn't blame you if you didn't want to do that and just use Houndstooth for a while instead. And let's look at Separatist ships. Because eventually, okay, it's just these 3. Once you finish off Negotiator, you're going to want to go for Malevolence and then get those pilotless ships. And after that, after a while, you're going to want to start going for Executor. I actually recommend going for Executor after you get BAM and Starkiller, instead of going for like a Galactic Legend, because that's going to help out the most. And I don't know if you're already planning on doing that, but that's just my take. But anyway, I think that's it for this account. I'm not going to look at Datacrons because they're pretty low GP. But, you know, Bronzium 4, I don't have too much of a frame of reference for the lower leagues, but I think you could probably climb even higher if you improve the mods. But overall, your roster is pretty good, so thanks for letting me review it. So that's it. Thanks everyone that volunteered, and thanks for letting me look over your rosters, and to those of you watching and picking up other stuff. I hope you learned something. Anyway, this was fun. I'll see you in the next one.